I don't believe it.
I realize this must be disappointing to hear, but despite extensive inquiries, there is insufficient evidence to establish the alleged assault took place.
Alleged?
That'll be Lenny's doing.
So there's no charges to get brung at all?
I could have hoped for a different outcome. But I appreciate your coming down in person to see us.
It's no problem at all.
Your superintendent reassured me that you were a highly competent senior officer.
My super. I was unaware you two knew each other.
Ah, it's by the by. Irrelevant.
Unless there is any further questions, I'd better be going.
You should get a checkup and take it easy.
I'm fine, honestly. Goodbye.
Do you think she looked okay?
After all that I've done for that man, Tommy's lied.
To the police?
He doesn't get to let me down without there being some consequences. And I'll tell him that to his face.
Oh, was it still sore?
You don't shake off a serious assault just like that.
It'll be okay, you'll see.
Psychic now, are we?
No, obviously no. I'm just saying things have got a way of working themselves out in the end.
Sorry. I just don't know how much more of this I can take. I'm beginning to think that... Well, perhaps she's had a call from her super after all.
You're here, thank goodness.
This is a surprise. You remember my sister Victoria, don't you? Sorry, Victoria. Here, have a seat. I'm afraid we received some rather upsetting news this morning, so we're a bit at 6 and 7s.
Listen, I'm afraid I'm here because...
It's been pretty grim, to tell you the truth.
You can say that again.
Look, could I possibly have a moment with my brother? There's something urgent, something rather private we need to discuss.
It's fine. We have no secrets. What is it?
It's Dad.
Oh, yes. I spoke to him a couple of days ago. He sounded good. I'm hoping that...
Andrew, Dad is dead.
Very kind of you to drop in and see me. Not something I'd normally say to a copper.
Kind's got nothing to do with it. It was a thorough investigation, no more, no less.
Sure. A nice feeling, though.
What is it?
Being falsely accused. I'm gonna have to think about whether I do something about that. You know, questioned like a common thug. We know I've done nothing right.
Don't push your luck.
Understand? I was told, I was reassured that he... I spoke to the surgeon himself.
Yes, they thought it would be straightforward. And it was, I believe.
What happened?
He went home.
Home? What? Why? Why didn't you call me?
I only found out last night. I wanted to tell you in person.
Why didn't the hospital call me?
He wasn't at the hospital, not when he...
Where is he now?
The mortuary.
Oh, Andrew.
Not much point going home then, is there?
No. Listen, we have got to talk alone. You do understand, don't you? Is there somewhere we can go?
You go in. I just need to talk to these people.
But I thought we...
Go on.
Okay.
Tommy!
Here we go.
I've a little update for you.
Update.
It's about the gym, the sponsorship. It's so unfortunate, to be honest, because you don't get many people like you, do you? Who put themselves out to help others.
He does more than most folk.
Totally out of my hands, I'm afraid. Seems everybody's cutting back on non-essentials right now.
Non-essentials.
I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad tidings. You know how it is.
Oh, I do know.
How can you speak to him like that? A finer man than you'll ever be.
Oisin. When I gave my statement, I did think, I wondered whether it would have an impact on the gym. But then I thought to myself, nah, he wouldn't stoop that low, would he? I mean, we're talking about a bunch of kids here. The guy must have some humanity, hasn't he?
Finished?
Oh, aye. Absolutely. I'm an idiot.
You? Why, you tell him. And you've already done the right thing with what you've said to the police.
I should have seen him for what he is, shouldn't I? And sooner.
Ah, but that's the thing about folk like him, isn't it? If it was obvious they were no good, they wouldn't get away with half the things they do.
Asked if they had a Pinot, and she says, no, there's only the jukebox.
You hate Pinot.
Dad's favourite, though, wasn't it? Thought we should raise a glass or two.
Still trying to please him. It's a bit late now.
What was all that about outside?
Nothing. In truth, I was assaulted. And there were no witnesses. Well, at least, no one prepared to say what they saw, anyway.
Do you know who did it? Are they from here? Who is it?
I really don't want to talk about it right now.
Must say, it's a bit mystifying.
What is?
How does a person end up calling a place like this home?
Love, I suppose.
What is there here to love?
Scarlet. I've loved her since I first saw her.
But Andrew, falling in love with the help.
Don't be such a witch.
She's the one who's clearly put some sort of spell on you. There must have been someone else caught your eye.
I told you.
You always were much soppier than me.
Everyone's much soppier than you.
Are you sure it isn't time to get out of this place?
Oh, maybe. Actually, I'm pretty settled here. With Scarlet.
Anyway, forget all that. There's something more I need to tell you about Dad. About how he died.
He'd been given the all clear.
But it was still a major operation. He'd been hooked up to a drip, on loads of medication. Should never have been out of bed, never mind leaving the hospital and going home.
How did he get there? Home, I mean.
We're not sure.
Not sure. What? No one was with him?
No. Don't look so angry. It's not my fault. I saw him after the operation, which is when I messaged you. The doctor said he'd be drowsy and in bed for a few days. I called each morning. Nothing had changed. He seems to have discharged himself.
Why?
I've no idea. But I do know that it was impossible to stop him doing something when his mind was made up. He was found by the woman next door last night.
Found. telling me he was on his own in that house for nearly 2 days?
Seems like it.
Well, why the hell didn't you tell me that right away? And we've been talking nonsense since we got here.
This isn't easy, Andrew. The thought of him alone in the house. The place was in total darkness, apparently. He was just too weak to be out of hospital. He needed rest and medication.
Why did he go home?
I don't know. You could have visited him yourself. Then you might know the answers.
I assumed you were with him, visiting him.
Why?
Because you're the...
The what? The daughter?
I wasn't going to say that.
Yes, you were.
He was entirely on his own. I should have been there.
Yes. Maybe you should.
Duncan Campbell Baxter is dead.
Good afternoon to you as well, Mike.
Just heard. Thought you'd be keen to know.
Was it on the cards?
Heard he was in the hospital, so I presume he was.
You sure?
Yeah, I just saw Andrew heading to the ship with some woman. Family, presumably.
You know, the good news just keeps on coming.
Are you sure it's good news?
Why wouldn't it be?
Well, Duncan's cronies are still around, and Andrew will have access to his contacts, no doubt.
Duncan Campbell Baxter was old. All his contacts, they're old as well. And people are never quite as loyal to a deed man as you think they might be.
Andrew's not dead.
Where are we going?
Subway.
Absolutely not.
You shouldn't have had that drink then if you wanted to drive home.
Andrew, there are taxis right here.
Subway's not that bad. Victoria.
Sorry to hear about the old man.
I neither want or need your sympathy.
Oh, come on now. He wasn't that bad, was he? How you doing? Lydia Murdoch.
Come on.
Victoria Campbell Baxter.
Yeah. Sorry to meet your acquaintance in such sad circumstances. Oh, Andrew. You see, when a parent dies, no matter what age you are, you can't help but feel a wee bit vulnerable, you know? Exposed. Some people say it can haunt you the rest of your days.
Where have you been? You've been away ages. I was worried about you.
There's no need.
What's wrong?
I'm afraid we had so much to discuss, and it took us a while to get a taxi. Oh, and we met Lenny Murdoch. Interesting to finally see him in the flesh. Still has quite the reputation.
Oh, aye. And what was he saying? Gloating, no doubt.
Why would he be gloating?
He got off scot-free with assaulting Andrew for a start.
It was Murdoch that attacked you. You should have said. I wouldn't have introduced myself.
Can we just forget about the assault for the time being?
Will I get your painkillers, Andrew?
Thanks.
My head's thumping too. It's
So preoccupied about that blasted assault. No evidence. God help us. It's always Lenny. Somehow it always comes back to him.
I thought we agreed you were going to leave all this behind you.
Oh, I'm not going anywhere. Not till I destroy that man. And everything that ever meant anything to him. Lenny Murdoch has gone unpunished long enough.
Can you believe this? The great Duncan Campbell Baxter gets his own tribute in the paper. It's enough to turn your stomach if they only knew the truth about that family. You want a coffee?
I'll pick one up on the way.
Why the rush?
I've got 100 things to do before I need to get to the hospital.
What's happening at the hospital?
Oh, I'm picking up Brooke.
Ah, I thought Karen was getting her.
Yeah, she was meant to, but she's been snowed under with market stuff.
It's so sad Jo doesn't have anyone closer to help.
Yeah.
But what you're doing's a good thing. No one should be on their own at a time like this.
If you'd seen her in the ambulance, she was squeezing my hand when they told her that she'd lost the baby. And it was like the life had drained out of her as well.
And how are you?
I'm okay.
Well, on top of everything you've had to go through recently, I mean, this must be stirring up some painful memories for you.
Yeah. But like you said, she needs someone to be around her just now.
How's Jo coping?
Well, pretty much as you'd expect.
We'd be getting her ready for big school soon.
Usually when I think about her, it's sad. The life she's missed. The years she's lost. But we were lucky to have had her at all.
We were so lucky.
This is an opportunity to hit Lenny Murdoch where it hurts.
By dragging out his grandson's hearing.
Indefinitely.
You really think that'll work? I mean, fights happen at school all the time.
Well, that's just our way in. A reason for the panel to look more closely. Then we use Murdoch's own reputation against him. Make him think it's his fault his grandson's suffering. That's how I hurt him.
Is it wise to provoke him? I have clients like Murdoch, and I've just buried one family member.
I don't even know I'm involved. And if I was in any danger, he'd have done it by now. Am I supposed to just let him push me around, beat me up, spread lies about me?
What's more important, getting revenge on the man or keeping yourself safe?
Can't I have both?
Same old Andrew. But if you really want my help, let me talk to Murdoch.
To what end?
If I can convince him you are no threat, maybe you can agree to stay away from one another. Move on with your lives while you can.
That's a pretty big if, Victoria.
What? You don't think I can negotiate a peace deal with a gangster? I'm offended. Some of us are actually good at our jobs.
Oh.
If there's a taxi you're looking for, we're fully booked.
Is that for everyone or just members of my immediate family?
There's many of them these days, eh? Condolences.
This situation with my brother, shall I tell you how I see it? He's a problem for you. This thing he's been accused of doing.
He's a rapist.
Innocent in the eyes of the law.
Oh, my, is she different?
You've shown admirable restraint in the matter until fairly recently.
What's this?
I have a proposal.
Let me guess. You want me to leave him alone?
It would be in everyone's best interest.
It'd be in your best interest to get out that door. Now.
Not until you've heard what...
Fine.
Please, Mr. Murdoch, I came here peacefully.
Peacefully. How much peace do you think Lydia gets these days? after your brother forced himself on her.
I am not my brother.
No, but he sent you, didn't he? Now let me tell you how I see the situation with Andrew Campbell Baxter. Sooner or later, whenever I decide, I'm going to send him to meet his old man. And you do one thing to get in my road or slow me down, I swear. You go, Will. You got me.
And
Is the ceasefire agreed?
It's not going to happen.
Did he hurt you?
But he wanted to.
Now you see what I have to deal with.
I've been thinking about your plan.
So you'll help.
Dragging out the hearing's not enough. We need something that replaces you as the focus of his righteous anger.
I'm all ears.
You were onto something, using the family.
He is fiercely protective of them.
Yes, that's good. That means he'll do anything to get Callum back. We're going to take the boy. I've learned the name and address of the boy who Callum assaulted.
What use is that?
Now I know who the little Ned is, I also know the little Ned's mother.
So?
Kerry Lochte. I gave her a call, told her my son also had a run-in with Callum.
Did she fall for that?
Of course.
How is she going to help us with having Callum taken into care?
You'll find out soon enough. I'm meeting her later at your office. One concerned mother to another.
Said you something to tell me about my boy?
I do. This isn't Callum's first violent incident.
I didn't know that.
He hurt my son, but more to the point, he was previously taken into care for attacking a girl with a firework. Callum was abandoned by his mother. He has convicted criminals in his family. As a mother myself, I find that deeply distressing.
What's this got to do with me?
Look, I know that Fraser admitted to putting fireworks in Callum's bag.
He's not a bad kid. He said it was a prank.
Oh, I'm sure. Which is why I'm wondering if perhaps he was mistaken.
But how could it be a mistake when he done it?
Maybe if your son felt intimidated by Callum, in fear for his personal safety.
But that's not what happened.
I'm suggesting that perhaps it should be what happened.
How would that work?
I'd need your help.
What would Fraser have to do, exactly?
Good evening, everybody.
Quite simple, really. You'd have Fraser go to the head teacher and change his story, say that Callum brought in the fireworks.
That's a proper serious lie.
I'm sure your son is bright enough to know that he'd be acting in his own and Callum's best interest.
I don't know about this. It's well dodgy.
It's easy. They were Callum's fireworks.
What do you get out of this?
You know I'm a lawyer. I like to see justice served.
The thing is, it's not just Fraser. I've got 3 kids at home and they all know exactly what happened. Won't be easy to keep them quiet.
I'm sure if anyone can, you can.
Might be easier to keep them all from blabbing if they had something to keep them busy.
Such as?
What about a games console?
And you think that would keep them quiet?
Definitely.
Well, in that case, I'm sure that could be arranged.
It's not only the kids though, is it?
What do you mean?
Cost of living. School uniforms, bills, credit cards. Life's expensive. But you'd know that. As a mum.
How much do you want?
Go on, Angus!
We can rely on her.
I think so. She's smarter than she looks.
Can we be sure the children's reporter will believe Fraser's change of story?
It's a serious allegation. Children's services can't ignore it, especially since Callum's got previous.
I can't wait to see Lenny's face the moment his grandson is finally taken away from him.
Why on earth would you be there?
To enjoy it.
Absolutely not. Lenny has no idea what's coming to him. Callum will be gone and we'll be completely in the clear.
Yeah, and I want to witness every second of it.
We cannot give him the slightest chance to trace this back to us.
I would miss this for the world.
Thank you all very much. It really does mean such a lot to me that you have made me your...
So, how's Callum feeling about his review?
Nervous. Especially after that fight at school. He just wants it over me.
I shouldn't worry. After all, the other kid owned up to bringing in the fireworks.
I know, but Cal did lash out, and that could go against him.
He'll be fine. And you'll be there to support him all the way.
I will try. But even I'm finding Hale's situation intimidating.
Well, perhaps I could be there to support you.
Not a good idea, Andrew.
I know Callum might not appreciate my presence, but I could explain the ins and outs, help him relax.
Maybe he would take to you if he seen you as the good guy. And to be honest, I could do with the support.
I had no idea you were so worried.
It's a big deal, Andrew. Once that supervision order's suspended, we can all move forward together as a family.
Well, if you want me there, who am I to say no?
Oh, my day. Sonny.
You see my phone anywhere?
Table.
Oh. You know, it's okay to feel nervous about the hearing.
It's just all the panel papers, all this jargon.
Scarlett, we both know how important today is.
That's just it. This could change Carl's life. If they lift this supervision order, he can finally put the past behind him. But if they don't...
Well, you can't think like that.
I'm sick and tired of feeling up to high dough. It's been one bad turn after another.
Well, maybe today will change that. You've agreed to work together as a family, that's positive.
But what if they ask tricky questions?
Then you'll deal with it.
Cal just really needs this break. We all do.
Whatever happens, I will be by your side. That's if you still want me there.
Andrew, you are part of this family.
Not sure the rest of the O'Hara clan agree. I suppose it would be good to show a united front. After all, today could change Callum's life forever.
How can you still not do that?
Gran always said it.
Morning. Are you ready?
Wait, just need a minute.
Scarlett, leave it.
Why is he even here?
Well, to start with, I can help with that.
No, you're all right. We'll just...
It's no bother. It's actually easy when you know how.
My granddad's doing it.
You heard the boy. You don't mind?
You don't go to Carl's reviews?
What with tie stripes? The trick is to keep the knot in. Hmm? Yeah. Your life hack for you. Callum wants me to go with him.
Not you. Or him.
But you don't have a choice, son. Cal, whilst your ma's in Australia, I'm your legal guardian. They'll no do it without me.
She's right. I told you, like it or no, it's the law.
You've already agreed to stand together over this.
You mean lying about you still living with us?
And whose benefit's that for? Callum's or yours?
Of course it's for Carl's benefit. This could be his last hearing. But the panel know he get into a fight, so I just need to get in here and smooth out a couple of things.
Who's your taking this? You're a man of the law and all that.
If Scarlett thinks it's in Callum's best interest.
Look, we're all trying to act in Callum's best interest, and we all need to support him. We go in there, happy family. Then if they bring up the fireworks, we explain who's being bullied. That's the plan, and we stick to it. All right?
Aye. That's what I've been saying. Today's all about Cal. I'd really love to know how school's gone. Have you still got that funny teacher? You know, the one with the squeaky posh voice? Mine last parents' evening. I couldn't understand a word he was saying. He could be telling me you were a genius.
Why are you acting like you even care?
Because I do.
Maybe just leave it now, eh, Scarlett?
Morning. You must be Callum. A well-tied tie is the first serious step in life. Oscar Wilde said that.
Got my granddad to do me.
Good on Grandad. Hi, I'm Alistair, the panel chair.
Hey.
Now, I only have 3 names down as attending today.
Yes, Cal, me and Bob.
Andrew Campbell Baxter, Scarlett's partner. I'd also hope to join.
I don't want you there.
I think Scarlett would really appreciate the support.
I'm sorry, but it's a child-led process, so we need to listen to Callum's wishes.
I'm sitting this one out in the waiting room. Me and you can hang out, eh, Andrew?
So, Callum, Scarlett, Bob. This way.
I'll be right here, pal.
Now, as always, these hearings are in the interest of protecting the child. Now, I take it you received and understand the relevant paperwork for today's session.
Aye.
So, you know that we're aware of a recent incident at Callum's school. And we'd appreciate you telling us what happened.
Aye, well, aye, there was a fight, but he was being bullied and like some wains planted fireworks on him.
Aye, and Callum knows he shouldn't have punched Fraser, but he was standing up for himself.
Aye, Bob went to the school, so it's all sorted now anyway.
Were you unavailable for some reason?
I was working. Bob has always looked out for him.
He's not Callum's appointed guardian, though.
No, but it's his family.
Do you often take care of Callum?
Look out for him. Sometimes. Aye, we're really close as a family, so we sort of share responsibility. Me, Madonna, Stevie.
Stephen O'Hara, who has multiple criminal convictions.
Oh, that was a long time ago.
And Callum, were you okay with Bob talking to the school?
Yeah, fine.
I do have some concerns about who's caring for Callum, but I'm also troubled by the fact that your version of the fireworks event doesn't match the panel papers we sent out.
What's that meant to mean?
Well, this confirms that Callum brought the fireworks into school and made substantial threats to Fraser and other students.
That's not true.
Callum, I just want to understand the full situation. We know that children make mistakes, and we're all here to support you.
That's not what happened.
I'm sorry to tell you this, but we do have an eyewitness account who says differently. I would like to hear more about the event from you, Callum, and to really understand your home life. So, would it be okay to answer a couple more questions for me?
Aye, fine.
Faith seems to have killed off his contacts.
So the bold Andrew doesn't have as many friends in high places, eh?
Folk don't like him, Lenny, and that means somebody will squeal. Eventually.
Try and make it sooner rather than later. You know, for a busy man, you seem to get to hang about a lot. Maybe you can make yourself useful.
You're looking for legal counsel?
You seem awfully keen to get into that hearing.
Just wanted to support Scarlett.
I thought a guy like you would know the ins and outs of all that.
It's not really my area of expertise. Still, I always trust in due process.
Do you now?
This must be hard for you, Lenny, to see me as part of this family. But it's so important for family to be united. Really is my duty to support.
You think you're that smart, don't you?
Well, I don't give law degrees to just anyone.
A really smart guy. He wouldn't have the audacity to preach about support. Knowing he's the person that's destroyed this family, and one day you're going to have to pay for that.
Now, careful now. I suppose I found the one witness that not even you can intimidate.
You never learn, do you?
There you are. Taking on board the thoughts of the panel, my own views, and the contradictory stories we heard today, I'm sorry to say I have significant concerns about the welfare of this vulnerable young man. And as such, I'm afraid we're not in a position to lift the compulsory supervision order. Look, I promise you, he's really happy. And he's so good at gaming. Like Stevie said, he can make a career out of it. And is Callum supervised during these sessions? Sometimes. What games does he play?
What Bob is saying is that Carl's doing really well, and we're all in this together, you know, as a family. Unfortunately, it's ever apparent that Callum is falling back into previous behaviours. The fireworks are a clear indication of history repeating itself. 5 years ago, we saw Callum commit arson and attack an innocent minor. The very events that led to the initial compulsory supervision order. He's been bullied. You can't blame him for that. I absolutely don't blame Callum. But we feel there is a risk that you could harm yourself or others again. And this risk is evidenced by history. Oh, please, he's been through enough. He has. But I'm also worried about the lack of a stable home environment where his best interests can be served. Carl is loved. Nothing can be more important than that. Given the serious nature of the threats he made, my conclusion is that Callum should be taken into secure care for an initial 3-month period. No, you can't do that. Papa, tell him. You can't do that. They can't just make a decision out of nowhere. They're ripping their lives apart. Carl's life.
What happened? You all right, Paul?
They want to take him away.
Ma, we need to hold it together. They said he's going to be with us for the next few days. Callum needs your support.
That eyewitness was lying. Who would have said all that rubbish?
We can appeal it. There's a process they mentioned. They kept saying about acting in his best interest, so we tell them it's in his best interest to be at home.
Scarlett, what happened?
They wouldn't lift the supervision order. They just...
He'll be taken into secure care.
What went on in there?
I'm sure Scarlett tried her best.
They said they had evidence that Callum had threatened other students.
How could they have new evidence and you knew nothing about it? You're busy shacking up with that to pay attention.
If you're looking for somebody to blame, why don't you look in the mirror? Carl was saying fine till you kicked off about Lydia's lies.
You know what? I've had enough of this.
I don't understand what's happening.
It's all right, pal. I'll fix this. Come on, let's get you home.
I really thought he could put the past behind him. I don't understand what's happened.
He's clearly more troubled than we thought. Or he's acting out against you leaving home.
He wouldn't do that. Would he?
Who could blame him if he did? You walked out in this family and now Callum's had to pay for it.
This might help with the shock. It's not your fault.
I don't think that's true. I think it's me that's broke his family.
Lenny and Lydia did the breaking. Look at me. I will do everything in my power to help Callum. I'd do anything for you, Scarlett.
Scarlett, I'm terribly shocked to hear what happened.
I need to go and phone Kelly Marie. Somehow break this news to her. Sorry.
See, you've prepared a toast.
Dad did a fine job teaching you.
I taught myself, actually.
Family.
Family.